Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. I got myself a real boxer BMW motorcycle for 966 euros, and that's this beauty here, a 98 R1100GS in almost a mint condition. So yeah, let's have a look at it and let's talk about it a bit. So why the R1100GS? So myself, I'm riding the F800GS from 2011, but I always wanted the boxer engine one, a real BMW. But I didn't want to have a carbureted one from the 80s, so the R80GS or the R100GS. And they're also very costly now, as they're kind of a vintage objects. So I was looking for the R1100GS from the 90s, because it's the optimum between the R1200, which are pretty costly for me, and something that I can afford. And this one costed me just 966 euros. So actually I paid for that 1,000 francs here in Switzerland, but 1,000 francs gives you 1,066 euros. But I had also a double headlight that I don't need, and I sold it for 100 euros, so that gives you 966 euros. So below 1,000 euros for this beautiful bike. It rides very well, and have a look at the condition of this bike. This is just crazy. I love the black color, by the way, just like the vintage classic BMWs. It's the 1.08 liter engine, so I think 1.085, so not quite 1.1 liter, but it's a R1100. Yeah, look at this. So the previous owner was really taking care of the bike, and he had it for 24 years. So the bike is 27 years old now. It was delivered on the 30th of June 98. It's even before we moved from Russia to Germany in 99, so quite crazy. 2/3 of my life went by, and somebody was riding this bike, and now I'm riding it. So yeah, it's from the second hand, basically. So the first owner had the bike for 3 years, and then the second owner had the bike for 24 years, and now I'm riding it. The bike has let's have a look, 74,900 kilometers in it. So the last, let's say, it's check heft, check book, whatever, proven, whatsoever. So the last entry was in 2017, I think. So no service at the real dealer for the last 7 years. And the bike was ridden for approximate average of 1,400 kilometers the last 7 years. So yeah, I need to replace all of the fluids. I need to replace some things. Also need to replace the battery, because it's a bit on the lower side, how to say, not so powerful. Need to get a new one, and I also need to replace the brake lines. This is the first thing they will do. They're still in a good condition, but this is still the original rubber brake lines here. So look at that, the rubber brake lines. So, and in the back as well. In the back it's also rubber and original. So yeah, but let's have a look at the bike. So people say it's just like from a museum or something. So really clean, no rust, nothing. Really nice bike. I think it's an incredible value for 966 euros. So really retro style bike, and I like how it rides, and I like the boxer sound. Actually, yeah, pretty much better than the F800GS. So I kind of downgrading but upgrading at the same time. So you decide. And yeah, so let's have a look once again at the bike. So I will be doing some adjustments on the bike and replacing the fluids and replacing some parts, and I will put separate videos about it on all of the service that I'm doing with the bike. But it's drivable, rideable, everything is okay besides the battery basically. So I already needed to push start it down the hill a couple of times. Yeah. And the ABS, it has an ABS, by the way. So some of them, they don't have an ABS. So the ABS doesn't like the low voltage batteries. Yeah. So you need to really replace the battery with a fresh one. Yeah, so enough of talking, blah blah blah. Let's have a ride with the bike. And so it's again not starting, so let's try to push start it. I think this road here goes downhill a bit. Yeah, you see, that's how easy the push start here is. You see the ABS light is not going off because the voltage of the battery is not enough. So yeah, and you see the fuel gauge as well lighting up. I did not forget to fuel up. I need to take the tank off for all of the adjustments because the ABS unit and the battery is underneath the tank. So yeah, I need to remove it to actually do any work on the bike. And for any major work you also need to remove it. So I will also fit the quick fuel disconnects here. Yeah, to ease all of the separations here. Yeah, but otherwise, just listen to that. I need to be a bit careful on this gravel road because I don't have the ABS now and I don't want to drop the bike. Oh, there are cows up front. A real Swiss landscape here. Okay, I will wait, because they are herding it now. Right now there is a farmer. But I don't switch off the engine, otherwise I need to push start it again. Yeah, listen to this engine. It's really beautiful. Much more character than the F800GS. Yeah.
What I actually forgot to tell you is that the €966 are already including the original R1100GS tankback from BMW, and they're also including the original BMW plastic panniers, which are actually pretty awesome. Much better than the aluminum ones, I think. I will show you them in the next videos. So technically, the bike is even cheaper than €966.
I also need to get used to the clutch a bit, because the engine has a lot of torque and it's a dry clutch, so there is no oil in the clutch, and I'm a bit of, yeah, kind of doing it very like sharp, how do you call it, shifting, yeah. So I shift too fast, I need to shift more smoothly. Yeah, but listen to this engine. So guys, but let's have a look at both bikes, the F800GS and the 1100GS. So what are the differences? Let's have a look. So that one is the 2011 F800GS Trophy, non-adventure edition, and that is a 98 R1100GS. And yeah, usually you say this is the bigger bike and this is the smaller bike, and that's why people opt in to this one. And yeah, that's what I did as well. But funny enough, the F800GS is actually the bigger bike, so it is much taller I don't know if you can see it here, but actually I can go on the R1100GS just like this, yeah, and I cannot do it on the F800. It's just much taller, so here I'm usually using the foot pegs. So yeah, that's my old ride, and that right here is my new ride. And yeah, funny enough, this one has 86 horsepower and the old R11GS has 80 horsepower. But it has more Newton meter, and due to the boxer engine, if you compare it to the Rotax engine that the F800 has, it has more torque, and it's actually feeling like switching from a petrol engine to a diesel engine. So more torque from the lower revs. But yeah, so that's it. The F800 and the R11GS. Always wanted to have a boxer, and I finally got it.